So there are multiple ways that we can use a thread or create a thread in our Android application. The simple way, the first we will make use of a very simple way that how we can utilize a threading in Android application. So first of all, let's go to the top over here, and I will just take a thread from here, java.lang in the package, and I'll just call it as a thread. And we'll go down over here where is our code here inside here. So what I will do over here is let me go over here, and I'll just say thread, right, is equals to new thread. We'll create a new instance of a thread, and we will say we have placed a new runnable object over here, and we'll just say runnable, and inside this runnable we have one method which is a run method. So we are creating a new thread class over here, creating a new instance of a thread class, and this thread class has a method run. So we have to override this method run, and inside this run method we will be placing our code, and we'll just place it over here. So this will actually create a new thread for us. So how to know that whether it's a new thread or it's the same thread as our main thread? So for that we will just go over here and the top over here. Let's go to here, and I'll just copy this, and I'll just print out the thread name. So how we can get the thread name is that I will say current thread, and current thread is, let's get the thread from here. I will say thread dot, let me get a thread dot current thread dot get ID, and we can get a name or an ID. So we'll be taking the ID from here, and this will help us to get the current thread. And I will just copy this one, and I will just go down, and I will just place inside the here, and which will give us a current thread number. So inside I will say, let's say a random number, random NUMBER, random number current thread, and here we'll just call it as a service current thread. So similarly what we'll do is we'll go to the main activity over here, and when we start a service we will also print out the thread from here. So we have not created a tag, so let's go on the top, and I will create a tag. Just call it as a private static, and I'll just call it as a final, and string, and I'll just create a tag is equals to main activity. So let's copy this that class, sorry, that class get simple name, and the current thread, or we can just comment as a main current thread. So this will give a thread ID for us, and also we have a thread ID over here, and on start command, and also on our new thread. So let us run our application and see how it is going to look at when we actually run our application. Let us open our Logcat over here, and we'll also open our application, and let's click on start my service. So when we start the service, you can see the main thread is on thread ID 2, and also the service thread is on ID 2. So the main thread over here, the main activity and also service is running on a same thread. So that's why the app it's crashing, because it's using a same thread, and the program, the execution is affected because it's running on the same thread. So that's why we are separating the service thread or generation of a random number to a separate thread. So but the thread is not running, so I think we made some mistake over here. That's why the thread, okay, so we have created a thread over here, but we have not started the thread. So when we created the thread, but we need to start the thread. So how we can start the thread is just thread the start will start a thread for us. So let's run the application again. And now let us start my service over here. So now when you start the service, you can see the thread ID is totally different, 637. But if you actually go and see the main thread, it should be on a different thread. If you try to stop, when you stop it stop my service, but actually that the thread is not going to stop because it's running on a different thread, and we are not making any we don't have any method that is going to stop the generation of a random number. So what we'll do next is we'll create a one more method over here to stop our random number generation. So let's meet on our next lecture. Till then, have a great day.